What's going on, card collectors? It's Ken with Ken's Cardboard, coming at you with a video from my basement in snowy Colorado. I just had to make a video about this because it's a big trade that I made. So it wasn't actually a purchase. It was a card that I purchased a while ago, but that I made a trade with a awesome YouTuber. You probably recognize him if you're a part of the community because he was just elected to the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame. None other than George, Diamondyard Sportscards. So I made a big trade with him, and here's the package. Came in the mail from the FedEx, delivered safely through 8 inches of snow. Check out these pictures here of all the snow we got last night. So just had to make a video about this, and I'm going to tell you a little story about how this trade came about and the beginnings of my card collecting in 2019. So let's take a look at the cards, and let me tell a little story. All right, so this is how the story goes. Back in 2019, I had some discretionary funds that were just hanging out in the stock market. I got frustrated with the stock market, tired of looking at it and paying attention to it. So I talked to my wife and I said, hey, let's see if I can, do you care if I move this money and buy some sports cards and maybe we'll see what happens? And I felt that, they were pretty stable cards. So I had some criteria when I looked at buying some of these cards, and that criteria stemmed from either Hall of Famers, rookie cards, and MVPs, former MVPs, or former Cy Young Award winners. And so I took that money and I was going to divide it into vintage as well, but I bought one vintage card, which is the card I actually traded to George, and the rest of these were modern cards. So as you can see, I bought this Mookie Betts chrome rookie card. I think I paid $200 for that. The Jacob deGrom rookie card, I think I paid $60 for that. I bought 2 Mike Trout rookie cards. I have sold one of those. I sold one back in the beginning of the pandemic for, I think, $2,800. I bought both of them each for $700 a piece, and I sold the other Trout because it was crazy not to sell it, and it would pay for pretty much most of these cards I already bought, so it was already up from that. And then I also got this Stanton rookie card, Giancarlo Stanton, it says Mike Stanton, but I bought that for $40, and I think I got the Altuve for $80. So the Altuve is still about the same price, and the Stanton's a little bit higher. Trout's obviously gone up. DeGrom's gone up. Betts has gone up significantly. So, and the other card I bought was the Sandy Koufax rookie card, 1955. It was a 6.5, and here's a photo of the card that I traded to George. And so that I started getting, as I watched more channels and watched how the hobby was changing a little bit during the pandemic, I decided to get more into vintage cards. And I was always a fan. I grew up in Los Angeles, and my dad was always a Dodgers fan. So I just started to look at vintage cards from the 50s, which was like the golden age of baseball, with 3 teams in New York, with the Giants, the Yankees, and the Dodgers, and such great baseball that happened then. And after reading this book here about Jackie Robinson and his history, and I started to pick up Jackie Robinson cards. So that is my main focus now. And then over the past year, I picked up a couple Robinson cards. I got the 56 Robinson here, picked that up about a year ago, and then I picked up this 53 at the National. But now I made a trade with George, and so I traded that Sandy Koufax card for what's in this box. So let's see what we got. I can get it open here. Got a nice little note from George here. And I've been talking to George. He's been helping me get all of my Jackie Robinson cards. But he sent me a nice little note here, and we've been talking a lot about Jackie Robinson for a while. So I sent him a card, and he sent it back to me, and sent it up in this multi-wrap bubble wrap here. And I'll show you the card that I traded for that 55 Jackie, which, you know, my dad hit Sandy Koufax was his favorite pitcher. He also liked Don Drysdale. I think I have a Drysdale card over here somewhere. Oh no, I think I put it away now. I had a Drysdale card, but I replaced it with a Roy Campanella card. I picked up several Dodgers cards from the National, like Don Newcomb and Roy Campanella, and a few others. Most of them were examples of the first type of cards I ever bought from those sets, like 55 Bowman and 54 Bowman and 53 Bowman, which I had never owned any of those. This thing just keeps unraveling. You can see all this. Woo! Lots of bubble wrap. Good job packing, George. It made it here safely as far as I can tell here. Now I got to get out the knife somewhere that I have it. Okay, I'm back. I finally got the package open here. So I'm already liking this first card on the back. It's my first slab of Pete Rose. And some of you don't know, I'm also a Pete Rose. I collected Pete Rose since I was a kid. He was my favorite player growing up. You can see up here on my top of my shelf here, I got the 63, 68, 70, 71, 72, 73. Got some more roses over here. So this is going to be, George sent a few other goodies in here, man. Shoot, George, thank you, man. There's more slabs. I don't have any Pete Rose in this slab, but this is the 1981 Pete Rose and a near mint 7. Sweet, thank you, George. Man, you're awesome. Oh, I love it. This is an old flip, but you know, cool to have a 81. I have a complete set of 80 and 79. Those are the first years I was collecting. And then I didn't actually end up collecting the 1981 set. I think I had pretty much the whole thing, but I ended up selling it back in the late 90s when I moved to Colorado from California. Getting a little bit long here in the video here, but got some more Pete Rose cards here in 83. A little mini. There's a nice 4,000 hit on the Expos. Oh, look at this. Here we go, some Don Drysdale and Sandy Koufax. More Dodgers cards, love it. Oh, here's another Koufax. Sweet. So, I still have some Koufax, thanks to you. I have a couple other Koufaxes as well. I think I have a 64 that I still have in my collection. But here's the big boy. Look at this beautiful card. 1950 Bowman. Jackie Robinson in the PSA 3. Corners are a little bit dinged up, but otherwise it looks very nice. Really, really well centered. George has a keen eye for finding the good cards. Thank you so much, George. That's the story of how I came up with this card, was, you know, purchasing that Sandy Koufax card, and then George wanted to upgrade his Koufax rookie that he has, and hope you enjoy that card, George. I'm sure you'll share with the community what you got in the trade. So really appreciate it. This is awesome addition to my Jackie Robinson collection, and it's going to go right up on my shelf. And thanks again. Check out George, Diamondyard Sportscards, and he has an awesome vintage collection. Take care, everybody. Be kind to one another. Peace out.